This is the MGTOW Infinium here with another Infinium short take. This Infinium short take is entitled, Those Men. My brothers, the other day I was in the reception room for a physical therapist center. And as part of the course, there were two womanist receptionists there, one BAW and another who was white. As I waited in the room, another older BAW entered the room asking for information as to where another office was on the floor of the physical therapy center. The older BAW said to the receptionist that her husband had given her directions, but she felt that they were not correct. The older BAW also said that her husband was a good man, but he sometimes messes things up. The two receptionists began to laugh, and then the white receptionist stated, "Those men, what are we going to do about them?" My brothers, I must admit that upon hearing that statement, and because of some ongoing female family issues I am dealing with, I did have a momentary rush of red pill rage, which I did manage to get myself under control and calm down. But as I waited in the room, I went back and forth as to whether or not I should say something to the womanist or just leave it alone. At first I thought I would give this womanist pixie a lecture about how everything in her life which allows her to live was created by men. But then I got a notion just to ask her a simple question. What do you think would happen if those men were to suddenly walk away from this society? When it came time to leave, I asked the womanist pixie the question, and she did apologize and admit that she was wrong. Nevertheless, as I am capable of reading women quite accurately, I knew that both receptionists were laughing in their hearts at me because of my crazy question. My brothers, we as men know what would happen to this society if, quote unquote, those men were to suddenly walk away. But it is women who fail to understand what can and will happen virtually overnight to this society if men were to suddenly walk away. In short, and as RPM has said, the lights will go out, and it will be a modern-day Mad Max type dark age where anything and everything occurs, like cannibalism. The other thing that women fail to understand is that men are in and have been in the process of walking away in terms of indifference towards women. The aforementioned is anything from men no longer white knighting and saving women to men openly ignoring the increasing numbers of homeless women. Furthermore, men are locking women out of their lives in any and every way possible, and women are finding that their efforts are futile when it comes to changing the minds of men who have locked them out. Nevertheless, women still believe that men have no right to be indifferent towards women, even when men have been faced with women's indifference for decades, which on a day-to-day basis, men receive nothing but complaints and criticism from ungrateful womanists. My brothers, this is why it is important to understand your worth and value as men, and why it is important that you as men put yourself first in every way possible, regardless of how the feminist plantation state feels about you. This is the MGTOW Infinium, and this has been an Infinium short take. My MGTOW brothers, as always, stay safe, stay strong, stay on the MGTOW path, and remember, MGTOW is the liberation of men's minds. MGTOW cannot and will not be stopped.